welcome to the Toffee Blues, where Terry and I are going to do our second performance review of the squad for this season. If you've tuned into the Eddie Mina one, which we've already done, then you'll understand we're disregarding any potential ending to the season should it resume, given the considerable differences in circumstances. We'll be the first to focus on one of this season's new signings, Alex Iwobi. Iwobi was the last of our plethora of new arrivals last summer and came in for a tasty 35 million from Arsenal. I'm not going to lie, when I saw this was a goer on deadline day, I was doing the live stream on the Toffee Blues YouTube channel and I was absolutely horrified that we were going to pay this kind of money. Nonetheless, he came in and he was expected to add some pace, power, a bit of skill to our attacking options, and having only turned 24 last week, there is still potential for him to grow as an Everton player. But nonetheless, we're still going to scrutinise him because that's what we do. Terry, how would you think Iwobi's first season at Goodison has gone?
It's a strange one, really, isn't it? I mean, you mentioned it there. You know, he was bought on deadline day and he seemed to have all the hallmarks of a panic buy. You know, we sold Ademola Lookman and not replaced his position in the squad. We'd been linked in the press with Wilfried Zaha for about a week and a half. You know, rumours of, bids and then bids including swap deals and all that. And then out of nowhere, we're bidding for Alex Iwobi. Now, you've said 35 million. I'd seen that, could rise to that kind of thing. And it's actually more like 27 million.
Even still, it's tasty, innit?
Still isn't great. Like, I mean, he was... It's a weird one because Iwobi, I think, can be a good player. His chance creation stats before he came to the club were quite good for Arsenal. Like, obviously, assists and goals and all that, not great, but he was an industrious, creative player. So you've got to remember as well, the sort of environment he was bought in. He was bought by Marco Silva, and Marco Silva religiously played 4-2-3-1. So I wonder whether he wasn't even bought to play wide, that he was bought to sort of add competition for Gylfi Sigurdsson, because Gylfi Sigurdsson is the number 10. After being bought with a plethora of number 10s, ended up being the only number 10, and he had no competition whatsoever. So now, obviously, we're playing Iwobi, on either wing, and under Ancelotti and under Duncan Ferguson for a brief spell. But he was brought in with a different shape, a different team, and probably a different role in mind. And he started well. I mean, a lot of fans won't have been, excited by him because it was a player that Arsenal fans didn't think was very good. Like, Arsenal fans, he was a bit of a whipping boy for them. But then on the other hand, he could have been, he was their academy product. Could have been similar to, us with Barkley. Like, some people overrated him.
Yeah, I think it was very similar to that, actually.
Some people overrated him in their fan base and some people underrated him. It was hard to get a good picture of what he was actually like as a player because the opinions of fans is always a bit skewed for their own academy players, either negatively or positively. But he came in and he started well. He scored against Wolves, scored against Lincoln, headed goals, which he wasn't really known for. He started off well. And he was in the team, and I don't think anyone thought, I didn't personally think he was going to come in and replace Bernard, because Bernard was one of our better players from the season before. I genuinely thought he's going to come in and be competition / a replacement for Sigurdsson, who's getting a bit older now. And the one time that he did actually, the 2 times he actually did play that role of behind the striker, it was completely different. He would, Sigurdsson was more, was a statue in that number 10 position, would stand next to Calvert-Lewin, and Calvert-Lewin just, wasn't getting any joy from that formation of the team. And then when Iwobi played, it was against West Ham, and he did it against Sheffield Wednesday as well.
That's right, yeah.
And he just, different dynamic to the team. Iwobi was travelling with the ball more than Sigurdsson does. His movements off the ball was a lot better. He was creating space. And it's almost, one of the victims of the change of formation, I think, will be Iwobi, because when he's going to play in that left-hand side role and compete with Bernard. And he's not going to get the freedom to move about that he would have had in a number 10 position, but I don't see us going back to that. So I think he's been sort of, lost between the lines. And I mean, his injury hasn't helped. Since he's come back from the injury, he's not been very good. He's not been terrible, but he's not been very good. And it's led to a lot of people sort of writing him off and
Definitely.
Thinking he's worse than he probably is. But it's whether he can... The gauntlet's been laid down to him now. He needs to carve himself out of position in this team, no matter where it is. If he thinks his best position in this formation is going to be that sort of left-hand side, tucked in wide player role that Bernard's been playing, it's wide open for him because Ancelotti doesn't seem, for whatever reason, stuck on Bernard
now.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like he's as convinced on Bernard as the supporters are. So Iwobi's got a chance. If when we're doing the season reviews now, because when it comes back, it's going to be like another mini season, isn't it? It's not going to feel like the same season. It's going to have its own pre-season and everything. So Iwobi needs to treat this as, I'm going to use these 9 games. I'm going to get in the team. If they do play, that is, and I'm going to, put my marker down. I've been given a sort of little mini blessing because I've managed to get myself back up to the same speed as everyone else now because everyone's been off.
That's it, yeah. And again, I think, like you say, these are the kinds of issues you end up having when you have to sack managers on the regular, like we have been doing. You get players who were signed by previous management who now have a difficulty fitting into the new manager's system. And yeah, he's definitely the biggest casualty of that, like you say.
Yeah, I mean, he let's be honest. He was a panic buy. He was bought for a position we don't play anymore, and he's always, been hot and cold in his career. There's been, supporters of Arsenal who loved him and supporters of Arsenal who hated him. And I think it's going to be the same with Everton. There'll be a lot of people who'll never be convinced by him. Something I've made my mind up pretty early on is he can't play on the right.
That's very, very certain to me. I think he was appalling when he played there.
Yeah, but possibly on that left-hand side with Luca Dean overlapping him, there's a chance for him to play there. He's still young. We could get, some money back for him if Ancelotti decided he wasn't going to use him, but I don't think we will. I think next season could be a watermark season for him where he, a watershed, I don't know, whichever that would, water something.
Watershed's the one, I think you were trying to get at.
No, watermark, something for a Photoshop artwork, isn't it? Could be a big season for him because, obviously this season's been interrupted by injury and then lastly the coronavirus. But he did start okay. He scored goals, impressed in his number 10 position, but now the challenge is there. You've moved to another club from your boyhood club. You need to, really establish yourself now. You're not going to get any favours.
That's it, definitely. And, I mean, what do you think the future holds for Iwobi then? What do you think he'll do next season? Is there a place for him? Or, I mean, I think he'll still be here next season, that's for sure. But what happens beyond that? Do you think he's got an opportunity? Will he take it to sort of re-establish himself on the wing or in centre mid or something? Or do you think he's that adaptable?
I think if we stick with this formation, he's only got one chance, and it's in that left-hand side, tucked in position there that Bernard's been playing, because as good as Bernard is, manager doesn't seem to be as struck on him as we are, and Iwobi's got a chance to get in there, and it's the only position in a 4-4-2 that will suit him, because he's not going to play centre midfield, he's certainly not going to play wide right, and he's not going to play up front. So if he doesn't get any games there, he's going to be that position that Adam Luckman found himself in, of just being one of the substitutes every week, and comes in to show the game up or see if he can, make something happen. But he's got the tools, physically strong, a good footballer on his day, but just needs to prove it consistently, because as many games as good games.
He's only turned 24 last week. I mean, he's still a young player, like you say, plenty of potential. It's all on him really if he wants to fulfil it at Everton.
Yeah, true. It is. It's I don't think we're going to be looking to sell him because our transfer fees are going to be deflated when transfers do end up happening again. So we take a loss on him at the minute. So I think we probably will stick with him. I think Bernard and Iwobi are going to spend all next season fighting for that same shirt, but other places in the team are going to be a little bit a little bit easier to get into, but Iwobi I don't think suits any others, which is unfortunate for them.
It's one of them. I think obviously the pressure's very much on him to establish himself now, and the jury's still out from both fans and manager at this stage, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, hasn't had much of a crack under Ancelotti because he'd only just come back from injury before the virus. Started at Watford and it didn't seem fit, but he did okay. And after that, he's come in here and there. But I think it'd be very interesting to see whether Ancelotti uses him once everyone's back and more or less everyone's fit.
Yeah, so obviously we're going to conclude here. What would be your score out of 10 for Iwobi's performance this season?
5. I mean, it's I gave Yerry Mina a 6, and I feel harsh with that now since I'm giving Iwobi a 5. But yeah, I think he's been good enough. He's too good for a 4, not good enough for a 6. I just think
that's spot on. I think that's exactly what I'd have gone with myself. So
if he hadn't got injured, I think we could have decided either way. But I don't think he's played enough games to really go either way.
Certainly, I think that's, like I say, the jury's still out, and I think that's probably the general consensus at the moment that moving forward, I think if you ask so many people how his season's gone, his first season at Everton, I think everyone would say it's been its stop-start season, middle of the road, and a 5 out of 10 is pretty much justified.
Yeah, I mean, if we do manage to play these 9 games, we'll do another mini-season review, and hopefully,
we'll do it. It's the post-season review.
Yeah, hopefully, much better.
Hopefully for everyone, of course, with 9 games maybe to give us a bit of a lift, and it might be better than we expect. But there you have it. That's the verdict on Alex Iwobi from Terry and I. 5 out of 10. That brings us to the end of the season review for Alex Iwobi. Well, season review of sorts. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, drop us a comment and let us know how you think Iwobi has performed in his debut season at Goodison. Give us a like and a subscribe too, and thank you for watching on the Toffee Blues.